Are you thinking about moving to Scottsdale? Well, whether you are trading snow for sunshine or looking to escape the big city chaos, there's a few things that you may need to know before you decide to pack your bags. I'm Nadia, a local real estate agent here in Arizona, and over the next few minutes, you'll find out if Scottsdale, Arizona is the place for you. I'm going to be covering the 5 most important things that you should know before you head on over. Let's get started. The first and most obvious thing to know and understand is that Scottsdale is not just warm, it's hot. Like melt your makeup, fry an egg on the sidewalk type of hot. In May through September, it's likely that you will experience triple-digit temperatures, sometimes even up to 120 degrees, but the rest of the year is darn near perfect. Here's the thing though, is the city is built for the desert. A lot of the homes here are built with energy efficiency, and also a lot of communities have a pool and sometimes even more than one pool. And when all else fails, there's no shame in staying indoors and visiting one of the local museums, maybe the mall, or another shopping center. Second and most important is that not all of Scottsdale is the same. For instance, when you think of Scottsdale, you think of desert and luxury, which you most often find in North Scottsdale. Think of golf course communities, custom homes, and that true desert, lush landscaping. That's what you're gonna find, especially north of the 101. And then there's Old Town Scottsdale, which is where I am right now. And this part of the city is the most walkable part of the city. There's boutique shops, so many restaurants, nightlife, you name it. And it really is the perfect place for young professionals or those who like to keep in kind of the hustle and bustle in the center of the city. Oh, and I have to mention the 85254 zip code, which is right here next to Kierland and Scottsdale Quarter. It does cross over in Phoenix and Scottsdale jurisdiction, which gives it that magic zip code name for permitting, utilities, and taxes. 2 of my favorites that I haven't yet mentioned are McCormick and Ranch. They are truly in the center of Scottsdale, and they are a very different kind of vibe. We're talking mature landscaping, lush greenery, community lakes, walking trails, the green belt, great restaurants, and overall very family friendly. Bottom line, where you choose to live in Scottsdale totally shapes your day-to-day. It's just up to you to decide what kind of lifestyle you want. Third, I hope you don't mind driving because car culture is king here. Now, the good news is that we have a ton of access to Uber, Lyft, even Waymo, which is self-driving cars, but you are gonna need some mode of transportation to get around. The other thing too is because cars are a must here, our traffic can sometimes be pretty intense. I'm not talking like LA, California type traffic, but we are talking about congestion and bumper to bumper when there are accidents or rush hour traffic hours. Oh, and you can also tell when the snowbirds are back in town because you might tack on an extra 5 to 10 minutes on your drive to or from work. All right, let's talk about cost of living because when most people are considering moving to Scottsdale, it generally is the first thing that they ask about. And the truth is, if you're relocating to Scottsdale, it's probably not the cheapest place here in the valley, but you are purchasing more than just a home. You're purchasing lifestyle, safety, convenience, and quite honestly, almost 365 days of sunshine. Personally, I've lived in Scottsdale for the last 5 years, and while prices are on the higher side, especially closer to North Scottsdale or Old Town, there are some homes with really good value if you know where to look. So out of your everyday expenses like gas, groceries, or even going out, costs are pretty normal here, I guess you could say. You would be surprised though, our property taxes, especially if you're coming from somewhere like California or Illinois, are much lower. And the Arizona state income tax is actually pretty low compared to other states. So even if your mortgage is a little bit higher, you may make up for that in some other areas. Bottom line is, if you're coming from other places out of state, it probably will feel like a financial upgrade. However, if you're just coming from another part of the valley, we can work to find you something that fits your perfect lifestyle needs. Number 5 is HOAs versus Airbnbs. So a lot of people, when they move here, love the idea of being in a master plan community, and those often come with HOAs that have structure, community amenities, maybe some rules that come along, while others want no restrictions and to do as they please. If you're not planning to be in an HOA, just prepare yourself, because your neighbors may own an Airbnb, and that could mean late nights, parties, maybe even music sometimes. I've had clients that really don't mind being in an HOA, non-HOA, or considering the fact of, Airbnbs or short-term rentals. But then at the same time, I've had clients that do. So I kind of like to get ahead of this and dig into this up front, because it is a consideration to make when you're looking at purchasing a home in Scottsdale. You have to remember too, it's not just about the walls, but it's also about the community, the neighborhood, and the overall feel and lifestyle. There you have it. 5 things you really need to know before moving to Scottsdale. And whether you're moving from across the country or just hopping over from California, it's a really big move, but I promise it's one of the best, most exciting decisions that you'll probably ever make. As someone who lives here, works here, and helps people like you relocate all the time, I'd love to be a resource in your journey. Whether you have questions about neighborhoods, the market, or just want to chat about general relocation questions, I'm here to help, so feel free to reach out at any time. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments below. I always respond personally, and I'd love to hear what you'd like to see next. All right, guys, see you on the next one. Bye-bye.